James Ernest of the Gruel and Truth Radio Network, here with Manny Vazquez, MMA fighter. So what originally got you into the MMA?
What originally got me into it? Alright, so I was like 14. I started watching MMA back when the WC was still on. Miguel Torres, your favorite, those are the guys that kind of got me into this. I started watching these guys look like little kids, and they were whooping, grown men with, neck pads and looking all, scary, and these guys are just, destroying them, and, I was very interested in doing just something I could do, and started training right after I started wrestling, so I would go straight from wrestling back, just go straight to MMA.
So tell us about your wrestling background. How has it positively impacted your MMA career?
Oh, yeah, if I didn't start wrestling when I was in high school, I might not have even, ended up fighting. Like, my whole style, started, was based off of, my wrestling. That's where it all branched off of. If I didn't have that base to go off of, I'd be in a completely different place right now. So, I mean, I didn't know where I was going with life, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but it definitely opened a lot of doors for me and put me in the right direction.
So tell us about your early days of training. Were they harder than they are nowadays, or was it easier back then?
I mean, it was harder because we didn't train, like, we didn't know, how to train smart. We didn't have all the newest, like, training methods and how to do things. I mean, we would spar every Friday. I'd be sparring with some heavyweight. I'm a 135er, and we got, 4-ounce gloves on, and I got this guy swinging from the fences at me, and that was just training for us, like, that was completely normal. And looking back at it, that was insane, and I'm glad things changed, but yeah, back in the day, we just kind of were figuring it out as we went along, and training was harder in that sense, but training smarter now, and I still train just as hard. Training was probably just more dangerous back then.
In the early days, you fought at Turf Wars in Kentucky, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
So what inspired that choice to go from Illinois all the way down here to Kentucky?
They were looking for a replacement because Eric Mel, XFC veteran, tough fighter, his opponent pulled out. So my manager started talking to them. We agreed on a catch weight, and I was able to, kind of make a move down there. And it was my first, that was probably my first, higher profile fight with a tough veteran that's been around. And I had to jump on it. Kentucky was awesome. It was a lot of fun. That's why I went back a couple more times.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were your thoughts on the venue?
Venue was cool. It was a horse track, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we fought at it was like a horse track, and the crowd was super cool. Everybody was really nice. We went out after. Some of my favorite memories after the fight were over in Kentucky. I had a lot of fun out there.
And then from there, you went to King of Cage. What was that like? The difference, the transition.
Early on, the main thing was just kind of finding good opportunities, finding fights, and fighting as often as possible. My first 6 or 7 pro fights, I was going back to back, just, trying to stack up some wins and get noticed. So, opportunity after Kentucky and opportunity to go out to Iowa came about. I heard of King of the Cage from when I was a kid. It was, the shows back in the day, and it was cool to first jump on one of those cards, with a week and a half notice. And then the second time, I was already headlining a King of the Cage card, so that was definitely pretty exciting for me.
Definitely, to go in there as the headliner. And then from there, end up going to Legacy FC.
Right.
Yeah. Who was your toughest opponent, you feel, in Legacy?
I've had a lot of tough opponents, that's, I know, all the guys I've beat, guys I've lost to, they're all in the UFC now. So, you got, Ramos, he's killing in the UFC right now. He's 3-0. Steven Peterson, he's doing really well in there. He just won his last fight against, CES world champ, so that's pretty awesome. Joby, he's in the UFC. I don't know, man. It's hard to put a finger on the toughest one. I fought a lot of, high-level guys at this point, and I don't know. I've been in some tough-ass fights, so take your pick of one of those guys.
What do you feel is the biggest difference between Bellator and UFC?
Biggest difference? I don't know. I think Bellator's made a lot of moves lately. They've got a lot of, partnerships with other people. They've got a lot of money to take care of the fighters at this point. I think they've been treating their fighters really well. I think they're making big moves to have competitive rosters against the UFC at every weight class. The Bantamweight division, they've been stacking lately, and there's going to be a lot of good fights. They got Michael McDonald. They got, Joe Warren still. They got Doncis, Caldwell. They got a bunch of studs, and I'm excited to get in there and see how I do with those guys,
Definitely. Yeah.
I think the guys in, Bellator, the Bantamweight division, 80% of that roster would be in the top 15, top 10 right now in the UFC. So the competition is just as tough, at least at that weight, as it is in the UFC for sure.
So who is the next big fight?
For me, I don't know, man. I don't know who they're going to give me. I'm still waiting on a date to even get in there, so we'll see what date I end up getting in there, and I think that'll kind of determine also probably who's, a star in the area or this and that. A lot goes into it, so we'll see who they end up matching me up with. But I don't care. Just want to get in there. It's great.
Tell us about the impact your coaches, Franco and Alex, have had on your career.
Franco, I've been training with Franco since I was 15. I've known Franco for a long time. He's always had my back with everything. Been through a lot together. Alex, he's a real smart coach. He kind of puts things together for me. He finds fights sometimes. He'll find opportunities. He knows how to put a training camp together really well. My jiu-jitsu coach, Omar Ocasio, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt under Eddie Bravo. He's a stud. He's always going the extra mile to really put some time in with me and help me get better. Each of these guys play a role, and each of these guys have helped get me to the point that I'm at, They're all very crucial, and I appreciate them all.
Of your teammates, who pushes you the hardest?
You know what? I got a lot of tough teammates. The guys that push me the hardest, they're kind of out at the moment. I've been training with a couple guys that for years, since I was a kid, they know me, they know my style, so they know how to kind of stifle that, I got guys that are ranked way higher than them that have been, fighting all the time that, I put it on all the time, and then I got these guys that are only, 1-0, 2-0 pros that have been training with me since I was 17, and they know how my style is. They're able to push me and stifle the things that I do better, and, Chris Calloway, Johnny Marino, Phil Marino, a lot of these guys that you haven't heard of because they've got other things, they've got other careers, but when those guys come in, it's like they take off right where they left off, and push me the same way as they always did.
With the young fighters in your organization, who's that next big breakout one that we haven't heard of yet?
Where at? Bellator?
Where you're training, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where I'm training? We got a lot of studs. We got three brothers, Oscar, Motaz, and Asif Asghar. These guys all three of them are studs. They're coming up. They're going to be great fighters. I got Mike Demekis that I train with, who is, he's a killer. He pushes me every day. I got a lot of guys. Man, that's a tough one because we've got a huge lineup right now at MTC and all of my gyms, and it's hard to put my finger on one guy. They're all coming up. You're going to hear a lot of these names in the next couple of years. Excellent.
One of the big differences between Bellator and UFC is the fact that you have more sponsorship opportunities. Tell us about some of your sponsors and how they've impacted you.
So we've got a local company around here, America's Best, who always takes care of me before my fights, helps get things in order. I've got Technotic, a jiu-jitsu company that always gives me, I get the newest gear. They take care of me real well. Those are the two guys that really do the most to help me out when I'm getting ready for a fight. Make sure I got less to worry about.
Excellent. And other people that have impacted your career along the way, who would you like to throw thank yous to?
My whole family. My grandma, my sister. My parents, my grandparents. That's everybody in my family has played a crucial role to get me where I'm at. My aunts and uncles. My sister's been there every step of the way. My whole family wasn't on board when I started fighting, but my sister always, was there for every fight since my very first amateur fight. So I appreciate her and my brother-in-law and my nieces and nephews.
If fans are wanting to find out more about you on the web and social media, where would be the best spot?
Go to Instagram, Manny Vazquez MMA. It's the best spot to find me at. I post on there the most.
Excellent. Thank you, Manny, for being on the show today. We'd love to have you back again in the future.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.